Hey everyone, thank you again for joining the Liverpool Connection podcast, Pub Chat. We're back here at BD Riley's, where we belong. Happy New Year's to everyone. If you're ever across the pond, come to BD Riley's, mention the podcast, get you a free pint. And so we appreciate all you guys are supporting our channel. So like, subscribe, put the notifications on. So without further ado, I'm here with the guys with the funny accents, Posh Julian from London, King Joffrey from the Isle of Man, and our favorite Irishman, Chris Delcross. Welcome, mate. How are you doing? Just got back from across the pond. So how was your trip?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, no, it was good. Glad to be back. 3 weeks in Ireland, so yeah, it was good. Seeing some family, some friends. Got a couple of pints, watched a few Liverpool games, and yeah.
I heard there's some cowboy boots.
Oh yeah. I brought cowboy boots. Brought them out one night. Had to put them in. The lads gave me dog's abuse about them. So lesson learned. Won't be bringing back the cowboy boots. Cowboy boots to Ireland. So yeah, but
Set
good.
them on fire.
Good to be here. Good to be here, lads.
Deserve the views.
You know, my first trip to Liverpool, I wore my cowboy boots, and I didn't get a lot of shit for them. So maybe they just accepted the fact that I was from America and I had cowboy boots.
Yeah. Far from cowboy boots, I was rare.
They listened to you, they saw you, and yes, they fully expected what was going to happen. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if that was a compliment or not. Anyway, so we're here doing our first podcast of the year, of the new year, here at BD Rallies. We're going to talk about the Brighton game this weekend. Liverpool goes into the match in sixth place, 7 points outside of fourth place, and then we're playing Brighton, who's in eighth place, a point behind. So this game has a lot of meaning this weekend. And if you recall, I'm sure everyone does, that we drew 3-3 with them the first time we played them. You know, really, Trossard had a hat trick against us, and I don't think we've improved since then. So the scoreline this weekend could be anything. So let's start. What
You know what, though?
expectations, lineups? What are you thinking?
Well, we did improve a little bit. So we did improve before the World Cup, right? We did look better. We looked more organised. To me, and I said this earlier before we started recording this, a big part of that was we had a Firmino, but we had, which is huge, but we had Nunes on the left, and it definitely suits him better to me at the moment. For Nunes to play on the left, I don't think he's ready for Liverpool the way we set up as a number 9. But all that said, we can't do that at the moment because we don't have Firmino's not fit.
But we have Gapco too, who's going to play on the left anyway.
Potentially, yeah. Whether he's ready to be thrown in again for this game, I'm not so sure. But it's a massive game for a million reasons. Glenn, what are you thinking? By the way, our professional mic system, where we have stands and stuff, decided to break before we recorded this. So what we're doing is pass the mic. So Glenn, I will pass the mic to you, but Wilson wants to say something.
So be on the lookout for the GoFundMe for new mics for our show.
Yeah. Just don't send it to Wilson's credit card.
I think I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to say. The main thing for me for this game is Brighton's tails were up. So the last 2 games that Brighton have had, they've battered Everton, which was dead funny, and they've absolutely battered Middlesbrough as well away from home. Scored loads of goals. I think they beat Southampton 3-1 as well. They done well against Arsenal. They only got beat. Their tails are going to be up. So I just hope that we're a little bit more defensive. Our mindset's a little bit more defensive, and that we set up a little bit more. We set up a little bit deeper. If we go like we've been doing and open up, then these could be a long day, couldn't it? So my main thing is I want us to be a little bit more defensively solid, sitting a little bit more, drop back 10 yards, and just try and even go a little bit longer.
That, and I think that suits Nunes a bit better if we do that as well.
Yeah, it does.
I think it definitely suits, well, rather than us pressing and pushing forward like we have, where I think, honestly, he looks a little bit lost when we do that. I do think sitting deeper, hitting them more on the break, having Nunes on that last line of defence, for me, suits him. So it might be Whether we're going to do that, who knows? But I would agree with you on that.
Thoughts?
I don't feel good about this game. Um, just looking before I come out, they're 11-10 to beat Brighton. Last year we'd have been a 1-5 shot to beat Brighton. I think that this has a high scoring draw written all over it. I agree with Glenn. I would like to see them sit in a little bit and not be as open, but I can't remember a Klopp team ever going out and setting up like that. So I just don't think that's in our DNA. I think we'll go at them, and I think it's it's weird watching Liverpool at the minute because you want them to do exactly what you're saying, but they don't. It's just not in our DNA. It's not in our makeup. And they're trying. To be fair to the team, they're trying to battle their way through this shitty period. But we're just. I don't know. We're we're just not on it.
I was just going to say, like, if you think about any team that we played, or any team that you can put next to City, the best team in the league. I don't care about Arsenal. City, the best team in the league. No, honestly, City, the best team in the league. And the way we set, and I'm not saying Brighton are obviously not City, but they are quite similar to how they sort of play. Just Brighton, very open, they're like nice on the ball. But when we played against City, we have sat in more. We've been When we played against City, it was a lot backs against the wall sort of mentality. Hit those balls down the channels, and I don't know if we will, but I'd like to see us be a little bit more like that. I would do anything for a scabby 1-0 Liverpool win at the weekend. So I think, like what you're saying, we have done it this season against City, and I wish that we set up similar this weekend.
You know, the big question obviously is how Liverpool is going to line up through the midfield, right? We'll be playing against Casado, which we may or may not buy. We'll be playing against the Scottish Argentine, McAllister, right? Who has a new found purpose in life now that he's a World Cup champion. He's just playing balls out now. What do you guys think? How we're gonna play through the midfield? Obviously, Keita's played some, and he was probably our best player in the last game he played. So, what do you guys feel about the midfield?
I think Keita has to start. I think and we've seen this, and yes, he's not been great. He's been underwhelming for the money that we have spent. He's been a massive disappointment. But if you look at, he's played a lot of games for us. And a lot of the time over the past 3-4 seasons, when Keita's fit, he's been starting. And so then you ask, okay, why is Keita starting? Mainly because he fits the system. He fits the 4-3-3. He adds balance to the 4-3-3. And he did well when he came off the bench the other day. It was probably the most interested that I've seen Keita play in like the entire season, even though he's been out. But even last season, Keita came on, made a bit of a difference, looked energized, and I think he does add that balance. He adds that energy, that dynamism in the midfield, and which I think we miss. He's not the perfect player. I think we need to improve on him in the summer, but right now he is the best option. So I think Keita will start. The other two, I haven't got a clue. Obviously, you're looking at either Henderson, Fabinho, or Thiago. I'm not sure which two he's going to pick from that.
Just go back on Keita for a minute, because I think it's important. I think it's really important. I haven't got a clue what's going on with Keita. I know. I joke on this podcast, say that he was out for. It was like he was out for 1 week and 2 weeks. The next one he's out for 3 weeks.
He
3
broke
months.
his nail, didn't he?
I think he had. No. I don't know what's going on. But what annoys me is no doubt about it. Since after the World Cup, he's been fit. He's been bobbing about in squads and stuff. He should have started against Brentford, and he didn't. Why is he not started against Wolves in the cup? Why? That team selection in the cup is fucking weird.
Yeah.
Why is he not started? If we're trying to build his fitness up, why has he not got 60 minutes against Wolves? It's mental. So for me, just one sec. I think they are so worried about him breaking down that they're keeping him for like he's basically just going to give Thiago 20 minutes and Henderson 30 minutes off.
Well, you mentioned this earlier. I think the plan was, and the plan has been, for him to start against Brighton because of the way Brighton play, because of the way they set up. It feels like the perfect game for Kane to come in.
But he couldn't have got 60 minutes against Wolves at home to build his fitness up.
But again, you just spoke about that just then. They're worried about him injuring himself away at Brighton on a night
You've got
game
to build his fitness up at some
against a
point.
very physical team in Brighton as well. A very physical team in Brentford as well. Night game. I think Brighton was always going to be a planned start for Naby Keita.
I mean, I hope he is, and if not, then
And it also shows how much of a bad shape we're in when we're saying we really want Naby Keita to start, right? That shows how much of an issue we have in midfield. But he is the best option right now to get us out of this mess.
Yeah, 100%.
So I agree. I think it's weird. I think for me, you're asking the initial question, is how are we going to line up? And on the way down here this evening, I was like, Keita's got to start. He's absolutely got. If he doesn't start this game, then when does he start? But to go back to your point about Wolves, I look at that Wolves lineup and that selection, and I nearly feel like that was a punishment selection after the Brentford game where Klopp went, he went, hey, you guys were shit at the weekend. Get your arse back on the field ASAP and put in a performance. And he did, and I think that's what he tried. But I also think there's a little bit of what Julian was mentioned too. I don't think he can. There's no way that you could be confident that he could play 2-3 games in a row, because when's he done it?
No, I know, but at some point you have to say we've got to get him 60 minutes in. He's not had 60 minutes.
I think that'll be tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah,
I think we'll see him Saturday.
Do you know what? Right, I know we don't really want to touch on Wolves, and I'm not going to, but I thought the team selection was mental. And yeah, it was. In my opinion, it was mental. And the more annoying thing, I'm fucking fuming that it's a replay. I'd prefer to have gone out. Honestly, I swear to God, I was looking at that game and I couldn't watch the last 10 minutes. I seen it was 2-2, and I was like, I could sort of check my phone, but I couldn't watch it. And at 2-2, with like a couple minutes to go, I would have done it. I would have been happy for Wolves to have won that game. For us now, especially with Virgil being out for 5 weeks, for us now to have another game on top of that, it's absolute. People have different opinions and all that, but it's a pain in the hole.
I wouldn't have been happy, because I'm never happy when we lose or go out of a cup competition that we could win.
Well, not happy's the wrong word. Happy's the wrong word.
I wouldn't have been disappointed, right? I wouldn't have been like, okay.
But now you've got to play Wolves away in the FA Cup in replay on Tuesday after Brighton. And then if you get past Wolves, who have you got to play against? Fucking Brighton away in the Cup anyway.
Well, maybe we need the fucking games at the moment.
But we don't need the games because we've not got players.
Because we just had a month off for the World Cup.
But mate, we've not got players though. So. We've not got players. Van Dijk's out. So you've got 3 centre-backs. One of them's Matip. So that means he's going to play. He's going to have to play a lot. Konate's form has absolutely just fell off a cliff. You've got no midfield and you've got no forwards. Because they're all injured. Yeah, so sound, let's get another game then, because that's exactly what we need, isn't it?
But still, I would not have won. I know what you mean though, right? I get what you're saying about it, but it is a massive game, like every freaking game is anyway at the moment. It is going to be difficult. Brighton are a very technical, dynamic side. I haven't got a clue which way it's going to go. It's impossible to give predictions this season about Liverpool. We can kind of guess what the team's probably going to be. I would expect Núñez will be up front because we don't have another option really. That, unless he puts Salah through the middle and then Núñez left and then Elliott right, but I can't see that. So
no, let's just stay with the midfield for a second, because you were about. I know we want to have a bit of a Keita chat there, but in my opinion, I'll pass it around and whatever. But I think it'll be Keita or Hope, Keita, Thiago and Fabinho. I mean, there's not much option, but that would be if Thiago and Elliott start centre mid.
He won't. I would be
set me telly. I'm going to smash me telly up.
No, yeah, I agree. I think you're right. I think the midfield Saturday picks itself. it's got to be it's going to be Fab, Thiago, and Naby Keita. And if it's not that midfield, then then there's no point. There's no point looking at Naby again. I mean, if he doesn't start on Saturday, he's never going to start. We like it. I don't pretend to know more than Klopp or any Liverpool fella, but we all said it like that. They're a dynamic, bustling midfield that's going to run. One of our major problems this year has been the midfield either being leggy or you kind of
It's just more defensive minded, isn't he?
yeah.
Compared to Harvey, it's more defensive.
I don't, he's there's just more about him. There's just more about him. I think he can get in amongst them. He can also, if he's in a tight spot, you kind of he has that ability to get out of a tight corner and make that burst and get us on the front foot. And I think that's one of the main things that we've been lacking this season. It is that type of fella that can turn in a tight area, open up the field and break those lines and get us on the front foot. Thiago's pass range is unbelievable. Even Fabinho, although this season his passing has been absolutely atrocious, but in the grand scheme of things, he's a good passer of the ball. Harvey's tidy as well, but in those tight areas when you need a fella to burst out and break lines, those three don't have that. And I think Naby right now is the only one that has that in him. And I think if he doesn't start Saturday, I may not even watch the game.
You had a point where you say Henderson.
Yeah, no, I was just
It's an option.
Henderson.
Maybe
If you had
Thiago.
instead of Thiago, Thiago's played a lot of games, right? So Keita on the left because he's more comfortable on the left than he is on the right hand side. Keita, Fabinho, Henderson, bringing some energy into the midfield, protecting Trent, supporting Salah. I think that would be the best midfield for this weekend. If give him a rest, he's played a lot of games.
When you were saying that there, I was sort of thinking Henderson. Henderson was absolutely stinking against Wolves. He did not play well at all. So there's a part of me that's a little bit like that because their left winger, I'm butchering his name. I think it's Matoma or whatever his name is. He absolutely had everything off. It was well funny. He looks like a player. Him, by the way, he looks like a really good player. Definitely said his name wrong. So there is a bit like, well, maybe you have Henderson and you have Thiago and you go a little bit more upbeat. But like you say, the annoying thing is on Tuesday night we've got another game. So it's either Henderson or if, like you say, if Keita doesn't play, then it's gonna be just the forwards.
I would.
Let me ask something real quick. Just the difference between Thiago and Keita. Total different players. Like Thiago will make that pass up there, but then there's no support, right? Where Keita brings the ball and then he gives and then he's 20 yards up the pitch and he's the fourth forward. So that's a different style, right? And I think when you're trying to, really press on a team, that being 20 yards up makes a major difference with an extra player, So.
I can't see it being anything other than Salah's going to be guaranteed. Nunes, pretty sure, is going to start.
No options.
And then left,
Gakpo
Gakpo, Carvalho. I mean, left is probably the only real where you could potentially say a couple of players. But sometimes we've seen a couple throw a player in, but then he'll let him train, and he won't be in the team for a while. So
I think it's been a week. He had a week of training, so
yes, it's not a lot, but yes, I would be. I wouldn't be surprised if Gakpo started. I also wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. Is where I'm at with it.
Who'd you start instead of him? Who'd you start instead of him?
It's hard, honestly, it's hard, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. It's a
he could start off. Ox is playing every 4
Oh, maybe.
Ox is playing.
Yeah, but
Carvalho hasn't started in a while.
That's an option.
He is an option.
do you know what? Right? Do you know? And I've said this to Julian. Like, I don't know why we haven't had a little look at Harvey playing in those front three positions. I'm not necessarily saying maybe for this game because I contradict what I was trying to say before about Liverpool being a bit deeper and trying to sort of look to get a bit of pace in behind. But I'm also a little bit surprised that Harvey hasn't had a little go playing left wing. I know we come on against Villa, I think, but I wouldn't mind seeing that a little bit more. But fucking hell, do you know what? My New Year's resolution was to stop swearing. I've swore 3 times on this podcast.
That's what Liverpool.
Honestly, but
Don't worry, we'll
but-
put this out December 31st,
yeah,
2023.
but you know what? Oxlade-Chamberlain seems like a genuinely sound fella, but I don't think I can watch him anymore. He's crap. He's crap.
You know what? So,
Just put. I mean, there's a part of me that's like, okay, maybe it's a Carvalho just to be a little bit more defensive and thing, but put the new fella in. Put the new fella in.
I agree. I stick him in there. I think he looked all right against Wolves for a first game. He was with the lads a week, not even maybe. I think he done all right.
Decent,
Yeah, I think he done all right.
30 minutes, and then I think he lifted out.
I think he
for whatever reason.
He was playing with an absolute. Playing with an absolute bag of shite, wasn't he?
So what do you? Okay, so wrapping this up, score prediction. What do you think's going to happen?
Score. Look at it. I think it's going to be very similar to the first game, 3-3, 2-2. I have a hard time seeing us win. I really do. I have a hard time seeing us keeping a clean sheet. But at the same time, I have a hard time seeing us getting beat by fucking Brighton as well. So I'm gonna go with a 3-3.
Sound. Time for me to be an absolute bore then.
0-0. Do it.
No, it won't be 0-0.
Never happen.
You know, I'm always a bit thing. I'm always very, very optimistic on the Reds. But for this one, I'm struggling really. But I will. I'll go for a Liverpool win. Yeah, you can pick anything. You literally can pick anything, couldn't you? No, I'll go a probably more what I want. A 1-0 smelly Liverpool win. It's definitely going to be more like his score, but
3-0 Liverpool. You know what? It's a Saturday. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff, right?
Yeah.
It's a Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff. Wonderful weather. I'm sure it's going to be in January in Brighton.
It's always sound in January.
It's always down. Red kit against the blue kit. Kate will start. Nunes will probably get 2. Clean sheet. 3-0. Everyone will be happy again.
All right, Julian's on the record for 3-0. I'm going 3-2 to the Reds to just pull it out at the very end. It was squeaky bum time, practically the whole game, just because that's just the way we've been playing. So
Which is why we're going to fucking surprise you.
Okay.
And we're going to fucking win.
All right.
Everyone's going to be happy just
And
for
it's
at least a day.
it'll be on the video. So anyway, thanks for joining us again. Hit the like, subscribe, notifications, and we will see you on the next episode. Cheers.